Your coworker is sitting 2 desks away from you right now. Same salary, same job title, maybe even started the same year you did. But in 11 years, they are going to walk out of that office for the last time, and you are going to be there for another 3 decades. Not because they won the lottery, not because they inherited anything, because they quietly built a stream of income that pays them every single month whether they show up or not. By the time they leave, that stream will be covering $4,000 a month in living expenses, and almost nobody around them even noticed it was happening. Think about the last time something unexpected hit your bank account. Maybe it was a car repair. Maybe the air conditioner went out in July. Maybe it was just a medical copay you forgot about. And you felt that thing, that specific tightening in your chest, when you checked your balance and realized this was going to be close. You are not broke. You are not irresponsible. You're just completely dependent on one income source that stops the second you stop showing up. One paycheck, one boss, one bad quarter, away from a conversation you do not want to have. That feeling is not a character flaw, it is a structural problem. And your coworker, the one who always seems weirdly calm, weirdly unaffected by the chaos, quietly solved it. What I am about to walk you through are 9 specific behavioral signs that separate the people who will retire in their 40s from the people who will retire at 67, if they retire at all. These are not personality traits. They are not inherited advantages. They are observable decisions that produce measurable mathematical outcomes. And the uncomfortable part is that most of these signs are invisible. You cannot see them in what someone drives or what they wear. You see them in patterns, in habits, in what they do with money that everyone else immediately spends. By the end of this, you are going to recognize exactly which signs you already have and which ones you need to build. Let me give you 2 people. We will call them Marcus and David. Same city, same company, same $48,000 starting salary 6 years ago. Marcus got a few raises, upgraded his apartment, got a nicer car to match. David got the same raises, and every time his income went up, his lifestyle stayed flat. His apartment is fine, his car is paid off, and right now, David's investment account is generating roughly $1,400 a month in dividend income. It is not his full salary yet, but it is a floor. It is a number that arrives whether he works that month or not. Marcus is 3 weeks from his next paycheck and has $1,600 in checking. Same starting point, completely different destination. If you want to understand exactly how to build what David built, the specific income-generating assets, the funds that pay you monthly, that is what I break down here every few days. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Here is the question I want you to hold as we go through these 9 signs. Which one of these behaviors creates the biggest gap between the 2 paths? I will tell you the answer, but not yet. Sign 1. They treat dividend income as real income. Most people, when they hear passive income, mentally file it under bonus money, something nice that happens occasionally, something you celebrate and then spend. The person who retires early does something completely different. They treat every dollar of dividend income with the same seriousness as a dollar from their paycheck. They track it, they reinvest it in the early years, and over time, they start mentally accounting for it as part of their actual financial life. When David gets a dividend payment, even if it is $40, he does not think cool pizza money. He thinks that is another $40 per month that does not require my labor. He is building a second employer, one that does not care if he is sick, tired, or just done. That mindset shift sounds simple, but the mechanical reason it compounds so aggressively will surprise you. Sign 2. They understand the difference between saving and investing. Saving is keeping money. Investing is deploying money so it generates more money. These sound similar. They are not. A savings account with a 2% annual return is slowly losing ground to inflation. An income-generating investment, account paying a 4.5% dividend yield and growing at 6% annually, is an entirely different engine. Here is the math that most people never see. If you invest $500 a month into dividend-paying assets earning a 5% yield and reinvest those dividends, Within 15 years, you are looking at roughly $200,000, generating $10,000 a year in passive income. Not because you did anything heroic, because you understood that money sitting still is money shrinking. But here is the part that changes everything, and most people skip it entirely. Sign 3. They started before they felt ready. The most common reason people have not started investing is that they are waiting to have enough to make it feel real. They are waiting for the right moment, the right account, the right amount of knowledge. The person who retires early started uncomfortable. They started small. They opened an account with whatever they had, sometimes as little as $50 or $100, and they let the habit build the confidence, not the other way around. Research on behavior and habit formation consistently shows that action precedes motivation, not the reverse. The feeling of being ready almost never arrives on its own. It is generated by starting. David did not start because he had a plan. He started because he opened an account one Saturday afternoon with $250 and bought his first shares of a dividend fund. That was the whole plan. The rest followed. The reason starting small actually works mechanically, not just psychologically, is the next sign. Sign 4. They let compounding do. The heavy lifting dividend compounding is the most mathematically powerful force in personal finance, and it is the most consistently underestimated. Here is why. When you reinvest dividends, you are not just earning a return on your original investment. You are earning a return on your previous returns. Every dividend that gets reinvested buys more shares. Those shares produce more dividends. Those dividends buy more shares. The curve does not go up in a straight line. It accelerates. A $10,000 investment at a 5% yield, reinvested over 30 years, does not become $15,000. It becomes $43,000. And it is paying out over $2,000 a year in passive income, generated entirely by compounding. The investor who understood that at 30 now has something the investor who understood it at 50 cannot replicate: time. The uncomfortable truth about compounding is this: every year you wait costs you more than the year before it. Not the same amount, more. That is the math. But sign 5 is about something completely different, and it is the one most people in your office will never talk about. Before we keep going, honest question. Of the 4 signs we have covered so far, how many do you actually have right now? Not how many do you understand. How many are you practicing? Hold that answer. Because the next few signs are where the gap between Marcus and David gets impossible to close on a single income. Sign 5. They have automated the boring part. The person who retires early did not rely on willpower. They did not sit down every month and heroically decide to invest before spending. They removed the decision entirely. Automatic transfers, dividend reinvestment plans, set and forget structures that move money into income-generating assets before it ever hits their spending account. Willpower is a depleting resource. Systems are not. Marcus intends to invest every month. He just keeps finding reasons why this month is the wrong month. David invested every month for 6 years because he never had to decide. The money moved before he could think about it. Sign 6 is the one that will make you rethink your relationship with a raise. Sign 6, when their income went up, their lifestyle did not. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the invisible force that keeps otherwise intelligent people financially trapped for decades. Every raise, every bonus, every side income. Instead of expanding their life, they expanded their income-producing assets. This does not mean they lived miserably. It means they paid their future self first. When David got a 12% raise 2 years ago, his grocery budget did not change. His streaming subscriptions did not change. What changed was the automatic transfer to his investment account, which went up by the full amount of the raise. One decision, compounded over time. The difference between 42 and 67. Sign 7. They measured their progress in income, not net worth. Most people measure their financial progress in net worth, the total pile of assets minus liabilities. The person who retires early measures something different: monthly passive income. Because net worth is theoretical. You cannot eat your net worth. But passive income, dividends hitting your account on the first of the month, that is real. That is groceries. That is rent. That is the ability to say no to a job without your hands shaking. When David checks his portfolio, he is not celebrating the total number. He is celebrating that his monthly dividend income crossed a new threshold, and that the gap between what his assets pay him and what his life costs him just got a little smaller. Here is the moment I want you to sit with for a second. Marcus and David had lunch together last week. Marcus was venting about a project he hated, a manager making his life difficult, and the fact that he felt completely stuck. And David just listened. He did not say much, because here's what David knows that Marcus does not. David could quit tomorrow, not comfortably, not with everything covered. But $1,400 a month in dividend income means he has options. He has breathing room. He is not trapped. Marcus is not lazy. Marcus is not stupid. Marcus just never built the floor. And now every bad day at work, every uncomfortable conversation with a boss, every Sunday night dread, Marcus feels all of it at full intensity because there is no cushion between him and the consequences of losing that job. That is what financial dependence actually costs you, not just money, peace. Research from the journal Nature Human Behavior found something that initially seems counterintuitive. Passive income feels psychologically different from earned income, even at the same dollar amount, because earned income is always attached to obligation. You earned it, but it cost you time, energy, and availability. Passive income arrives decoupled from your labor. And that decoupling, that separation of money from time, is what changes your relationship with work, with your boss, with your own life choices. It is not just financial, it is psychological. You become a different person when you know money is arriving whether you show up or not. Sign 8, they chose assets that pay them back monthly. Not all investments are built the same way for income. The person who retires early is not just in the market, they are specifically in assets designed to pay consistent, growing income. Dividend-paying stocks, dividend ETFs, real estate investment trusts, assets that have a track record of raising their distributions over time. They built a portfolio that behaves like a second employer, one that sends a paycheck every month, does not require a performance review, and cannot fire them. This is not about chasing the highest yield. A 12% yield that cuts in half the following year is not income. The early retiree looks for sustainable, growing income, companies and funds that have raised their dividends for 10, 20, 30 consecutive years. That consistency is the signal. Sign 9 is the most uncomfortable one on this list, and it is the one most people watching this will resist. Sign 9. They made peace with being misunderstood. The person who retires early almost never talks about what they are doing, not because they are secretive, because nobody wants to hear it. When you consistently skip the group dinner, drive the older car, and redirect every raise into investments, people have opinions. They call it extreme. They call it joyless. They say you cannot take it with you. And the early retiree learns to smile, nod, and let the confusion happen. Because in 10 years, when they stop showing up, nobody is going to argue with the outcome. David gets asked occasionally why he does not just enjoy his money more. His answer is always the same. I am. He just defines enjoyment differently. To him, the most enjoyable thing money can buy is not a vacation. It is the quiet certainty that next month is covered, and the month after that, and the month after that. So here's the full picture. The thing I promised you in the first 15 seconds. Your coworker who will retire decades before you is not extraordinary. They are not disciplined in a way that requires some special genetic trait. They made one structural decision. They built a second income stream that compounds over time. And they made it early enough that the math did its job. The $4,000 per month David will be living on when he exits that office, that number did not require a huge salary. It did not require a windfall. It required about $400 a month invested consistently into dividend-producing assets for 15 years, with dividends reinvested in the early years and withdrawn in the later ones. $400 a month. The price of a car payment most people would not even question. The gap is not talent. It is not income. It is not luck. It is 9 quiet decisions repeated over enough time to let compounding do the math that no single paycheck ever could. Marcus will get there, eventually. Maybe. If something shifts, a conversation, a number that finally makes the math land, he can still change the trajectory. He is not out of time yet. But every month he waits, David's head start compounds. The gap is not linear. It accelerates. And the version of Marcus at 67, explaining to a younger coworker why he is still there, will wish he had heard this conversation a decade earlier. You are reading this now. That changes something. I told you I would answer the open loop. Which one of these 9 signs creates the biggest gap between the two paths? It is not the automation. It is not the asset selection. It is not even the compounding. It is sign 3. They started before they felt ready. Because all 9 of the other signs are downstream of that one decision. You cannot automate what you never started. You cannot compound what you never invested. You cannot build a floor you never poured. Everything else in this list is the result of one uncomfortable Saturday afternoon where someone opened an account with whatever they had and just began. That is the lever. That is the one that moves everything else. But starting is only the beginning. Because once you have decided to build this, the next question, the one that actually determines when you get to walk out, is how much do you actually need to retire on dividends? The number is probably not what you think. I break down the exact math in the video linked right here. It is called How Much You Actually Need to Quit Your Job with Dividends. And the answer is genuinely surprising. Most people overshoot by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Find out the real number here. This video is one piece of a larger system I am building here. A complete map of how regular people replace their paycheck with income assets and buy back their time. Every few days, I add another piece. If you want to follow that system from the beginning and not miss the next step, subscribe, and you will be here for all of it. This is not a one-time lesson. This is an ongoing build. Come back for the next one. One question before you go. Be honest in the comments. Out of the 9 signs, how many do you actually have right now? Not how many do you understand, how many are you actually doing? Drop your number below. I read every single one.